As people are coming in. Oh, that's scary voice.
Wonderful. So, as we're arriving, as Peter mentioned, my name is Mina Hartong, and then Helen will also, of course, introduce herself. We're co-facilitating this workshop. We're really excited. We've been planning it for a while. I know we're not live, but we're still very excited to see you. I am a DOE educator with many years in the school system, started a few theater programs from the ground up. So I feel that and know what that's like. I'm really happy to be with you today. Helen, go for it. And then I'll ask a couple questions.
Cool. Welcome. That feels good. My name is Helen Wheelock. I'm now an independent teaching artist and had the pleasure of being with the creative arts team doing theater in early grades for 30 years. How'd that happen? I don't know. And the last thing we'll sort of check in, and I'm gonna do it now as you ask your questions, Mina. Kick off. We asked for 3 items that you have easy access to: a sock, a pen, and some tape. That's it. And if, oh, see, look at that. Look up. Some people are on it. That's why we're asking, because I would have had it live, but we're not live, but we'll figure that out. Cool. So go as you go. And then Mina, want to ask that first question about our.
Yes. So we're looking at puppets today and puppetry as a theatrical art form. So we want to hear from 2 people on 2 different questions. If you could be thinking about your earliest memories of puppets, it doesn't have to necessarily be positive. You can raise a hand or unmute yourself. You certainly can use the icon to let me know. But we'd love to hear from one person on that. What comes to mind? I'll just get that party started. My dad used to do, we had a puppet theater, and he used to do puppet shows for my birthday parties, and it was pretty spectacular, and did a lot of voices and such, and I was completely mesmerized. Any other early memories of puppets for anybody?
Feel free to throw it in the chat.
Oh yeah, and please do respond in the chat as well, since we only have time to hear from one person right now.
Just my favorite show, Sesame Street, when I was little.
Yeah, absolutely. Sesame Street, what an incredible example of puppetry.
Fantastic. I remember doing a puppet show in 2nd grade, and I had just broken my finger, and everyone had to guess like who was who, but everyone knew it was me from the big Band-Aid. And so I was really upset about that, because I tried really hard to change my voice and disguise myself, and everyone knew.
Oh, you were like deep in your characterization, but yet still they saw the Band-Aid. I feel like Band-Aid itself should be a puppet.
Yeah,
thank
puppet
you. And so and then the second question we want to ask to kick off before we get into the building and making of puppets and using them in our classrooms is what, if anything, excites you about puppetry and puppets? Just from a few people.
I'm going to shut up. Lindsay in the chat says, I grew up in Georgia, where we went to the Center for Puppetry Arts on a trip each year in elementary school. I'm jealous. I'm jealous for that access. Anything else that?
I see, is it Kaylee?
Hey, yeah, you know me.
It's Kaylee. Callie.
Hi. I mean, to quickly step back, I didn't have much actually as a kid. I really didn't see much puppets, but as a young adult, seeing Dan Hurlin's Hiroshima Maidens, I was fascinated by the way he would do different techniques to direct audiences' attention, and he would use literal frames to emphasize different things he would meet. So just the storytelling capabilities beyond just watching 2 characters interact is kind of fascinating to me.
Thank you.
I just want to share one too. I'll never forget this. And I was just talking about it the other day. It's like how you're taught a message, but if you just tell your child or your student, you're not going to remember. So does anybody remember that commercial or public service? It was like 2 little pills, and they were puppets, and they sang the song, "We're not candy, even though we look so fine and dandy. When you're sick, we come in handy, but we're not candy." Oh no, you don't remember that? Anybody remember that?
Yep.
Oh my God, it just sticks in my head all the time.
Love it.
Well, the messages that puppets can send that would land maybe more profoundly, right? Especially with music and all that interaction. That's fantastic. Thank you. Thanks everybody for chiming in and on the chat. And we're going to launch into the world of puppets, and then we're going to come back at the end and reflect on what struck you as a participant in this workshop, and also be thinking about concrete takeaways that you could take back to your drama and theater classrooms. Thank you.
Sweet. So I'm also recognizing there are 40 folks, so holla, 44 folks. I might recommend again that if you go to the upper right-hand corner, it says view, that, and I apologize for this in advance, if you hit speaker, then she who is talking a lot will be the center of everybody's attention. So hopefully that's me. A quick why are we doing this session? One, because it's fun, but two, in my experience going into early childhood classrooms across the 5 boroughs, I often saw puppets that were more plush toys, because folks always go like, oh, you should do puppets, right? And you're like, okay. And then you try and you go, oh, it's a whole art form unto itself. And it was important to recognize that. So I started doing some trainings. There's a woman locally called Spika Wobi who's just spectacular. And one of the things I discovered is what was many things in the chat where people were like, oh, puppets are powerful. Puppets are great. They're so exciting that, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm doing a session. Excuse me. What's the session on? Puppets. Well, excuse me. So if you're doing a session on puppets, why are you talking? Well, because I'm an expert. Excuse me. Who's the puppet here? You. So I'm saying I'm the expert. Well, I was just, okay, fishy. Go. I'm so sorry she was rambling on, because that's Helen. If you know her, you know her. So, if you're going to do a first, excuse me, oh, there we go. On puppets, it's important that a puppet explain some basic stuff. So here's the basicest stuff. Notice where are your eyes looking? And you can unmute if you want to. Go ahead, just unmute. I don't care. I love chaos. Where are your eyes looking?
I'm looking right at your eyes.
You should. Oh, you got very nice eyes. Hi.
Thank you.
The other thing is, if you can see, because I pushed her way in the back. Can you see where are that woman Helen's eyes looking? Can you see? I don't know if you can see.
You're looking at the puppet.
You're brilliant. You're like basically a puppeteer already, like a natural puppeteer. So that's the first main thing, which is weird about puppets, is I'm the star, not you. Yes, I'm the star. So the biggest trick is that you put your eyes on me. That way, if for some reason you as an audience get distracted and are like, da, 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 you look at Helen, and Helen's eyes are on
The puppet.
Smart. If we were live, then I could just give you like a fish high five, but I can't. Like, anyways, so that's the first thing. Your eyes are on the puppet, and the second thing is the big reveal. Y'all ready for the big reveal?
Mm-hmm.
Oh goodness. Okay. And you're allowed to, unmute, because I want to hear your voices. I can see your faces, but anyways, so here's the big reveal. You ready? Oh yes, I am ready. Okay, here we go. Watch this. Don't freak out. This is the like This is like the secret of puppets. Don't tell anybody else. That's all it is. That is what I call a hand sandwich. So could everybody just make a hand sandwich? Boom. And shake it out. So excuse Fishy, because he's got a little attitude, but he's been a very, very useful tool.
But we love him.
Yeah, we do. But I think one of the things I wanted just to do, especially in the land of it, is we're working on Zoom and we're working with puppeteering. And today's session, you all can decide whether or not you're thinking about you yourself as a puppeteer or your young people as puppeteers, right? What I'm interested in sharing is how I have broken down Puppeteering 101 and how you might then, we're going to go through that for ourselves to work on ourselves as puppeteers. And then we're going to think about how you can then translate those skills for yourself for your young people. So I'm basically going to do a session with you all that I would do with young people. Make sense? Cool. And again, I'll make sure that I think I'm on speaker. So can you all sort of see my big old face? This is good.
Yes, I've got you on speaker.
Cool. Or spotlight. Because I'm always like, wait, who's seeing that? So the first thing, one of the things that Fishy said is, I'm not the star. Who's the star? Unmute yourselves. Don't
The
be
puppet's the star.
Exactly. Everybody unmute. Come, let's keep it on, unless of course they're small. Just be brave. Unmute, it's okay. The puppet's the star. So if we're doing that, then we have to make sure that our body is ready to be a puppeteer. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to warm up our hands a little bit. So we're going to go out, fingers out and tight, out and tight, and out and tight, and then shake them out. And then we're going to roll our shoulders. Oh, Lordy, crack, roll your shoulders. You got that? Ow. And then just shake your body from the right and left so that if you're sitting down, which I often do puppeteering up because it's that your hips are working just a little bit, or as many as my little white body hips can move. And then we're going to take a deep breath in to calm our body, because again, who's the star? The puppet, right? So there's something about warming your body up, chilling yourself out, and stilling this and that. So here's the hand sandwich. We can return to the hand sandwich. You got your hand sandwich? And this is actually, oddly enough, kind of challenging, which is why puppeteering is an art form. The whole idea, and again, these are my opinions, and I'm opinionated, but you're allowed to disagree, but quietly. Here's the top. Thumb. The idea is that your thumb is all that moves. Try that, y'all. Flat out your hand. Your thumb is all that moves. And you can shake it out because you'll find that your arm goes like, what is going on? Because it's hard. Other hand might be stronger. Your thumb is all that moves. So that's that. Young ones will have different strengths with it. That's cool. So you got your hand sandwich. And then I have I call it the Betty Davis. I don't do it with young people, but the Betty Davis, like I'm smoking a cigarette, like your arm position. You want this part to be loose, but it's almost like it's sitting in your elbow. So for those of us who are old enough who remember that thing that people used to do, right? Like this. So try that little arm position with a hand sandwich. And in all honesty, that's kind of it. You've got the hand sandwich, you've got the arm position. Lots of amazing people do puppeteering in lots of different ways. Again, I'm re-stressing that this is me. So you got your You're sitting in it, you got your puppets, and you say, hello. And what I was taught and what I enjoy is you punch as you talk forward. Hey. Yeah, let's try that. Hey.
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 Forward and land.
Hey.
Hey.
How you
Hey.
doing?
Hey.
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 And maybe really high. Hey.
Hey.
Low.
Hey.
Hey. Hey.
And that simple thing of moving forward and then coming back to this like setting, that rest area, that allows this puppet to move up the majority, the genital. I heard that.
I'm
Anybody hear
hearing
genital?
something come through. Yeah.
I'm just saying, turn off your radio. So we got hand sandwich. Boop, 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 boop. We got that little setting thing. Can you feel your bicep getting a little tired already? Just a little bit. And the punch. A, B, C. Let's all do that. Ready? A,
B, C,
C.
E,
E,
Yeah.
F. And the thing about this is, and what's wonderful about Zoom, there is something wonderful. If you come close, I hope you all did your nails. Come close. That just look how you can sort of have a little attitude with your hand. It's a sad day. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Curious,
Oh.
right?
Oh.
And if you need to shake out your hand and put the other hand because, oh my God, my hand did that.
And I think, Helen, what's really great to notice here is the scaffolding of how you've done this, the warm up, and then breaking down of all, like just the thumb, just the arm, because I find with younger kids, depending on what they're dealing with OT as well, even just practicing, holding up our arm and engaging muscles and just taking it step by step.
Definitely.
And
And
this
this,
let's do puppets. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. You're like, and then like, yeah. So thinking about this is a scaffolded thing that could take time, and depending on their fine and gross motor skills, that's what we're developing, right? So we've got our hand sandwich. We've got our like Betty Davis cigarette. We see how your hand can move to give a little attitude. How we come close, how we come back. How for me, I almost say a movement with every syllable. And people go, really? I'm like, it slows me down because I talk too fast.
Interesting.
And it helps enunciate.
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 Go down.
So if you are speaking with a class that has English not as the first language, and you're like, oh, I'm talking so fast because I'm afraid of the they're like, you weird. Slow down. This is where puppets can help with enunciation and breaking down English. I'm just saying, yeah. That's the first step, okay? That's really all it takes. Breaking down the puppet so that they can see what's going on. So if we have a high voice, let's all try a high voice. And a low voice.
Oh, I don't know.
Goodness.
I don't know. I'm tired.
Good. Yeah. A sneeze. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Using your body, they can hide. Excuse me. And then sneak out. Right, your body as that. And I also will say, a lot of people, I do it exposed. I do puppeteering exposed. I don't hide myself behind a cloth. I did that early on, and oh my God, it was exhausting. And also young people were like, oh, puppets, because come on, they want to
Grab them. Yeah.
Exactly. So the idea of like how to say, and the puppet would be like, excuse me, Lindsay's a family, sit back. Like the puppet does the management, not. They forget you. They don't care about you because, again, who's the star? The
puppet.
You're so smart. You're so smart. So that can be the first step. And then the second step is making. So let's just shake out our arms a little bit here because I'm
And
not saying.
as we segue, Helen, I just want to remind folks that we are recording this, and Peter is so terrific about posting this on the I Teach Theater website. So you don't, if you want to take notes, you may, but you can also just immerse yourself and look at it later.
Cool. Or reach out to me and say, hey. Yes. Now, all right. So does everybody have a very important thing? A sock. Mine's an old sock, I'm just saying. So, and I would do the same thing with young people, but might as well, we'll say, and unmute yourself. Who can tell me what this part of the sock is called?
Heel.
Heel.
Yep, exactly. And what this part of the sock is called?
Toe.
The toe, which makes sense because we put it on our foot. But today, we're not going to put it on our foot. We're going to put it on our
Hand.
And
So here is the thing. If you hold it up, if you are right-handed, hold it up in your left hand. If you're left-handed, hold it up in your right hand. Then what's going to happen is we're going to dive into the sock with our hand sandwich. I'm going to show you. And of course, young people will be like, I'm doing it anyways. I don't care. We're going to dive in. And the tips of your finger go into the toes and your thumb goes into the heel. So you can almost bite your hand. In my experience, adults and young people have the equal challenge. They're like, wait, I'm putting the sock on backwards. So if you're doing in the session, some of the young people will like, I got this. And other, so they can help each other out. You don't have to do it all, y'all, right? You don't have to do it all. But you've got the flappy toe here and the thumb in that. Yeah, got that? So now, oh my goodness. Ready? Oh,
oh my,
My
Yes.
goodness.
same strategies. What I love about sock puppets is that like their softness gives you, I'm the star. Sock puppet has a little flexibility, so you can scrunch it like this. Okay, ready? I can't believe we're not in person. Oh, excuse me. Oh, my goodness. Let's do that. Ready?
oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, again, this is all you need, but we can add eyes. This, I've done it with 3 and 4-year-olds, again, with a little assistance. One of the fun things about sock puppets and the size of your hand is going to impact where you put the eyes. And the nice thing about using tape is you can move it. So if you had a pen, you could take out your pen and go, I want my eyes not on my knuckles because that's too far, in the front of your knuckles. I can't, like there. So here are my knuckles here. So somewhere like here and here. Again, that's all you need. You can make a sock puppet with a magic marker to put
So
on.
hard to do with a darker sock. So maybe like,
Yeah.
if you want to go with the pen, maybe choose a lighter material.
Yeah. And that way basically marks where you're going to put your eyes. So we've got the 2 marks. Then to remove the puppet from your hand sandwich, you got to be gentle. Take your nose, got your nose, apologize. Sorry, I'm going to pull you off and go pull it off and lay the sock right in front of you so you can see where you made those marks. All right, there. Now, you got your piece of paper? Do I have my piece of paper? Yes, of course I have my piece of paper. Yes. We're going to make eyes. So here, going to tear a little piece And you can make these eyes any shape you want. You could have, they could be the same shape or they could be two different shapes. It doesn't matter. You can take your Lady Excited Me, you may want to take your puppet off to use your, oh, she's already advanced and she's adding eyes. You are just, you know, some people should be teaching this, not me. So we got, and again, this is a fine and gross motor skills. If you want, with your older young people, you want to use scissors, that's okay. But here's a piece of paper, and I'm just gonna tear a little shape. Okay, I'm gonna make, what's gonna happen today. And you can all do this at the same time. And as you notice, I'm often narrating what I'm doing so that everybody's doing it at the same time. So we tear it, and then I'm slowing myself down because I'm a big person and big people can do things faster. So I got one eye and I'm putting it right there so I don't lose it. I will lose it. And then I'm going to take another piece of paper and I'm going to make my second eye. And again, you can make them as big or as small as you want, whatever shape, triangles or squares, or just let the natural magic of tearing paper create a shape. Okay, we got one. I got a second eye. Everybody got their two little eyes? Danielle's like, I'm already done. What's your problem? I got this. Okay. Then we're going to take our tape. So I've got Scotch tape because I'm that old. Now it's called transparent tape. We're going to take one
Respect.
nice long, oh God, cat hair. Sorry. One long and tear it and put it on the edge of, I'm putting it on the edge of my computer. I might put it at the edge of a desk. A second piece, so we have both pieces turned. Okay. You got the two pieces. How you doing, Lindsay's family? You doing okay? Cool. And then if you want, you can put an eye, yeah, we will definitely, Callie will talk about that. You can put a dot in the middle of your paper eye if you want a little, like a little pupil. I'm going to do that just because I can.
So Helen, there's a question.
Yep.
That I might throw in. Is this a good time, or do you want to wait till the eyes are?
Let's put the eyes on, and then we'll definitely work on it.
You got it.
All right, but thank you. So we got our eyes. You got your eyes with a dot or lack of a dot. And then you're going to put it in the middle of the tape like that. Whoops. Where's my angle? There we go. And then we're going back to our socks. Hello. And we're just going to put it one on the dot. So it looks like, wait, there we go. There's one. All right. How y'all doing? You got that? Now we're going to try the other one. So again, we've got our little piece of paper and our little magic clear tape. And then we're going to put, hold on. Here we go. Boop, boop. I'm nice and hard on the tape, like squish that tape a little bit, squish it. You gotta squish it. Oops. All right. How we doing? Magic? Craft people rule? I'm not surprised. Y'all are great. With young people, it just takes, there's no rush. It takes some time. Takes some time. Now, now we're going to hold our sock again. Remember, this is the, and this is heel. You ready to put on our, but thumb, we're going hand sandwich in to the sock. Oh, there we go. Our thumb in the heel. And then what's nice about sock puppets is you can like move it around a little bit. And let's see, I'm feeling that. And can everybody just bring their eyes straight into the screen? Look at the different eyes, different socks. Amazing.
There's one with a little spectacle.
A little monocle.
And a mustache. Yeah.
It's Puppet Poirot.
Wow.
Un petit peu de français.
There's post-it eyes, because there's plenty of post-its at school.
Exactly, because that's what we got or whatever. And also if you're like, "Ah, I want now that I've put them on, I want my eyes a little further down,
Mm.
you move them a little further down. And I've got 4 eyes because, yeah. And I think my color contrast was just horrible. I think I look good. I don't think you should badmouth yourself just because you're a person and not a puppet.
Yes, you're a 4-eyed person.
I got that. Then I can see more. So,
Exactly.
well, here we go. One of the things Helen often does is group chaotic practice. We've done a little bit before, so now we're all going to go. Let's all do that. There's a high voice. Ready? 1, 2, 3. High voice. Or let's practice a low voice. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Low voice.
Low voice.
Voice.
You could in your session just practice. Okay, everybody hide your puppet. 1, 2, 3, hide. Okay, everybody sneak back in. Do, 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 do.
Okay to ask the question now that we're paused.
So the one thing is think, do you want a high voice or a low voice? Just think for yourself. Do you want a high voice or a low voice? Your puppet. Think about that. And now you can have a high voice or a low voice, pick a choice. And that's how varied my puppets are because I have no skills in that. And then think of a name for your puppet. When I do puppeteering with, I do parent workshops or such, sometimes with teachers, sometimes I think, it's kind of interesting to consider this puppet your alter ego. So remember, you're not the star. The puppet is. And what I have discovered for myself as a mouthy broad, that my puppets become the mouthy broad, and I become the side piece, the straight person, right? Where I'm like, what? I'm not, because the puppet can get away with saying stuff that I couldn't, right? And people love when a puppet tells you what to do, because adults are always telling me what to do when I'm a small person.
There's a rebellion, right, to puppets. We were talking earlier about, right, that puppets can have messages land, right, in a way
Yep.
that we can't. And historically, of course, yeah, we can be rebellious with our puppets.
I got Rabble Rouser, Rocky and the Ramones. Anyway, so here we go. We got, just reviewing, we've got 2 eyes, nose. If it's time to end the puppet session, I often say, it's like, take the nose. And there's a song, I knew a lullaby, which is sleep, sleep, little one. And pull it open. Sleep, sleep, little one. Sleep, sleep, little one. Now go to sleep. Now go to sleep. So we fold it, and then you keep on singing. And you have a puppet bag where they all go in, because if you leave them unattended, the puppets will come back and start puppeteering, because it's hard to resist a puppet, right? Because come on, they're there. Yeah. And put that away. So that's like Puppet 101 in the quickest, down and dirty, Zoom-like way. There was a question in a situation with large class, no other adults, what ages were recommended for this? For me, no desk either. I'm going to ask the group. I just walked you through something. Think about your youngest class, or the class that may be most challenging. What's your take to what they could be walked through? Any thoughts? Unmute yourselves, y'all, because I can't.
I would say definitely kindergarten.
Mhm.
Could do it.
Pre-K, I've done this with pre-K. They
Yeah.
actually can do it.
Yeah.
You help if you help put the tape on.
Yeah.
you know, if you help put the eyes on,
Mhm.
they know how to move their hands.
Yeah. Yep. And you could not do the eye for, again, this, it could be a sequence thing that you're deciding how far you go. Because you can also, having made, when we did our workshops, God, there were 6 teams of 2 people, and we were doing like a puppet introduction. So that's 35 socks each team. We are not going to make, so literally we had a white sock. We just went wild. We put dots and we put dots. That's it. So we had a puddle of socks handy. So they can make them, or you can just be like,
Yeah.
your 5th graders will be like, oh, do that. Oh, great. Now I'm going to use these with my kinder. Yeah, because it's the same strategies. And I think one of the things that is accurate is taking your time, getting the young people to support each other, and know that everyone, just like in this group, goes at a different tempo. Does that make sense?
Oh, sorry, please. I'm just wondering, any other ideas about, you know, how to control the chaos in a large class?
I think there's a place for like the unstructured just exploration and play. I think for like all like early childhood, like pre-K to second. And I think like, I don't know, maybe something kindergarten level appropriate, like as an introduction to like an end product might be like a whole little puppet chorus of everyone like singing the same song and doing like a little, like a small, like kind of dance routine with it.
Yeah.
That seems like a good scaffold into like, you know, eventually them like taking part and acting out a story with their puppets.
Yep. I think like this is a way to do you know, when you're like, you have to do a show and you're like, oh my God, kill me. Right. That building the puppeteer skills is one thing. And you're going to have like, you're going to have some people who are like master puppeteers. There was a kindergarten and I'm like, much respect. And other kids who's doing this. I don't care. Mm-hmm. I do not care. And I also, some of you are good. Hello, my cat's coming in to visit. Some of you are going to like, puppeteering will be like, oh, I get this. And others, like my dear friend and famous, you know, fabulous teaching artist, he'd be like, he'd have a bear puppet out here. And then the bear would just kind of fall asleep. And he'd be like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? Because, and I was like, oh, right. You know, it is a tool, to be used to, again, thinking about why. Are you the puppeteer? Are you using a puppet to introduce things because you're doing some exploration of story and storytelling or character, or you want a puppet to, you know, address issues? That's slightly different. I mean, it's for classroom teachers, but I think with drama teachers, the thing is like, where is this going? Are you going to create, are you going to use puppets in your show, in your presentation? I did something on, do you all know that it's an old school, we were talking about this, there's a storybook called the Story of Ping, which is Margaret Del Rey did it. It's set on the beautiful Yangtze River. And in that story, it was the story of Ping, Pang, Pang, and Pong is what I expanded it to. I'm like, make everybody 4 roles so that they're 4 people. So when somebody disappears, you still got 3 main characters. But they had cormorants that would go fish and catch fish and put them in a basket, and they would dive and catch fish and put it in so we made puppets, and we put tin foil around their neck because they have a neck thing that prevented them from swallowing. So it's the interesting question is like, where are the puppets? Where could the puppets come into a show or a story that you're doing? I lean away from myself using puppet theaters because you can't see it. Like they can't see themselves do it. But that might be a skill building that if they're maintaining their puppets, then it's kind of hard. You know, if you imagine, everybody drop yourself down and just put your, you know, in Zoom, we can see what's going on. But if you're in a puppet theater, you can't, and you can't see nobody.
One thing that worked nicely when I used puppets is, and maybe some of you have some cubes, right? Someone mentioned no desk, right? That if you have easy to move rehearsal cubes of some kind or any, then I found it, instead of building a theater, just have the students be, especially if they're little ones, be behind that cube to practice the art of disappearing as the puppeteer. A couple of things coming up in the chat, Helen, are more about, sort of circling back to the practical making of the puppet. Lindsay had a great suggestion that sometimes we have those eyes that already are sticky, right? So
Yes,
that'd be easier
perfect.
for one of the ones them making an eye, and they can just stick them on. And
Mhm.
then there's also someone who's asking you to repeat the tip on storing the puppet. So clarifying, is there one bag for all of the puppets, or does each puppet have their own little bag?
Yes, because I'm not cheap, I'm frugal. This is a puppeteering bag. It was a big pillowcase. And I cut it and then folded it over and have, so that way the puppets can all fit in the bag. Now, this is on you all. You get to decide what it is that you want to do. Because you can build out puppets, right? You can add stuff, you can use hot glue. I'm always leery of that because of that. But it can become a project where suddenly you're doing all of it. And I'm cool with that if you've got the time. But I have the fabulous Kemba, who I work with, and she ended up getting parents bringing in the sock and putting it in a plastic bag. And so that everybody had their name on their bag. So because, they were doing it as you all do it, you have 700 kids.
Yeah, I'm seeing a thumbs up on that. Maybe the idea to keep them an individual. Also, maybe the specialness of that.
Yeah.
I always think about, when I'm thinking about infusing art, meaning visual art, and making of puppets with theater, depending on your building, engaging parents is great. If you have a teacher in early childhood that you really gel with, they could even design and build the puppet in the classroom with the desks, right? And sketch out a design and do the building of it in a separate room, and then bring it to the drama room for the further learning with puppets. Sometimes I would collaborate with the art teacher, again, if there's one in your building and you have a good relationship. You don't necessarily have to do everything right in your drama studio, or if you want to, you can. Right?
And it all, again, you're building a skill, right? Just thinking about the skills that we are practicing. We're practicing fine and gross motor skills. The sequence, once you've built it and have your sock puppets, is you've got your voice. And then think of a name. So all of you, I'm going to invite you to have a voice, pick a voice, and think of a name for your sock puppet. And practice saying your name out loud. Sneaks. My name is Sneaks. And just practice all that, whatever your name. Just practice, like, remember, we're punching. Sneaks. My name is Sneaks. And Helen's hair is on me. Help, help. Ooh. And now everybody had, like, we're all this, they've all done that whole group. Now think of your favorite thing to do. What does your puppet love to do? What's their favorite thing to do? I like eating pizza.
Meet my friends in the park.
Yep, okay. And then what you do is, like, so turn to your partner and introduce your puppet. Hi, my name is Sneaks, and I like to eat.
I like to collect snakes. I like to go to the park with my friends and eat pie.
Yep, fabulous. And then, so they've done that, right? So they're thing. And then you can step in as a facilitator and go, oh, I'm excited to meet your puppets, with your puppet also. And you can go, Mike, can you introduce me to your puppet? What's your puppet's name? Hello, puppet.
Oh, hi. My name's Chester.
Oh, hey, Chester. Oh, nice to meet you. What's your favorite thing to do?
Oh, I gotta tell you, one of my favorite things to do is to smell flowers.
Oh,
I'm a little bummed, now that the end of the season's over. But
I know, but they'll come back, because I know, like, Augustina has a puppet too. Hi there, little Augustina's puppet. Oh God, I took it off. Hi, Augustina's puppet. Hi, hello there. What's your name?
I'm Twiggy.
Twiggy. Oh, are you named after trees?
I love sticks.
Oh, Mike, here's a friend who so what you're doing is interviewing across, either around the circle, or I love going across the circle and hearing what they're doing. And you can go and, eyes on your puppet, like you can side coach that. And then before you know it, the puppets are talking to each other.
What?
Finding and your job, for me, my job as the interviewer host is to build those connections and go, oh, wait, who was which one was the puppet? And then you're always, you're looking at the puppet, not Mike. You're looking at the puppet, right? So you're practicing those skill sets and getting them to cross-pollinate. And that's just, we're building characters. And then, your all's imagination is great. Like they can create scenarios of, they can then introduce each other. Like, this is my friend, Twigs. Oh gosh, I have short-term memory right now.
Twiggy.
Right? And they can and they'll remember, and then they
Mhm.
they'll create characters, and then they can go off and create the scenario, but instead of having them trying to act, they've got the puppets, and then the puppets can share, right? Somebody put in it, and John, hi John, where are you at? Wave at me. Is that the John that I know? I think it might be the John I know. Any tips on paper bag puppets? Okay, I am going to say something awful. I hate paper bag puppets.
Yeah, me too.
Because they're loud and they're noisy and they break and they're an art project, not a paper bag, not a puppet. So a couple things that I will offer it, and we've got like 5. I will show you. This takes so freaking not enough time. I'm going to show
we have a little time and we can get to reflection. You're good, Helen. Oh,
and
sorry.
we
I didn't say it like this. You're good, Helen. You're okay.
Yeah, it's my time. Thinking about, again, why are you doing puppets and for what purpose, and exploring how much work do you want to do and how much work do you want them to do. One, never buy a fun rainbow fish puppet of sort, or no, don't get it gifted unless you've put your hand in the puppet, which sounds dirty, but it's not. If you can't put your hand in the puppet and manipulate it, excuse me, I'm back with the fee. You all were doing so good. I'm talking now. Fine. Put your hand in the puppet. If you can't, if you've got them in your room, and then take scissors and murder the inside of the puppet so your thumb can get and manipulate the mouth. Figure out, some of the puppets have those little arms. You can maybe put your thumb in one, mouth in one, and your middle finger, go find a mirror and figure out how to work that, right? Murder that little puppet. Sock puppets. I love me some sock puppets. 300 sock puppets. You can also, create a puppet that shows up all the time. So this was, our first things are eyes. Those are buttons and hair, which now means that he, she, it. And we had a little bit of felt right here for his mouth. It's like Fabio, but different. Yeah.
So sorry, Helen. We probably have to go in about a minute to reflect.
I gotcha.
You want to show us one more puppet? Yeah.
I'm going to do, this is a non-mouth puppet. Oh, it's a glove. You can do the same thing I just did with the sock with a glove. This one, we just screwed on a spider. This spider have a mouth, so I'm just manipulating my body. No mouth.
Oh, that's great.
Same strategies. My eyes on the puppet. And then last but not least, we've got a stuffed toy. My name is Puff, and I'm a puffin. It's just the same thing of same strategies of movement. You're embodying this character with character.
They're not from me.
Cat toys are great too. Just put a couple on. I'm just saying.
Look, we're theater people. We find stuff and we make it work.
And I'm also going to say, if you have any questions, because we rushed through this, I apologize. But if you have any questions, you can always, and we don't get to them right now because Mina's going to do a little reflection on the session. You can always email me because I'll talk with anyone about this stuff because that's how I roll. All right.
Oh, great. So your email's in the chat. I was going to ask you to do that. I really want to thank Helen on like their possibilities are obviously endless. Yes. Thank you, Helen, for leading us through that. I love when things are practical and theatrical, and we have a lot of options for how we put them into place, which is what, and we can't not thank Fishy. Thank you, Fishy.
You know, I would star at the beginning and a star at the end as that's,
That's right. Fishy, would you like to take a bow?
Yeah. I'm done now.
Beautiful. So we just have a few minutes for reflection. We want to take advantage of this tool of the chat. So we'll hear from a few people, but we would love for everyone, if they could, to put something in the chat. We're going to save it so we can have it for you all. The first thing we want to just sort of looking back on this workshop, and we thank you so much for coming. It's wonderful to have a large group. What struck you as a participant? Just thinking about yourself as a participant in this last hour. It could even just be something like, I had fun, I didn't think about job and teaching. I was just a theater artist for an hour, puppeteer for an hour. So anything that struck you, please put in the chat for us. And if anybody would like to just share, one person could share any thought on that. And you can just unmute and let us know.
As they're saying, making sock puppets doesn't have to be complicated, so simple, but many possibilities. Definitely. Thank you, Mina. It made it really easy to play along. I enjoyed being silly. Love me some scaffolding.
Might have been holding a lion.
Excellent. And since we are wrapping up soon to go to our breakout rooms for the grade level discussions, just thinking while it's fresh in our minds, do you have any ideas about how you could implement this? Or maybe you're already using puppetry and maybe this can add to it. So it's kind of a twofold question, like how could you take this away? What are some concrete takeaways for what you're already doing in puppetry, or if you're going to be doing it maybe for the first time? And you can throw those up in the chat. And if anybody wants to share that out, we'd love to hear it too. So any concrete takeaways that you can
I work on a K-8 school, and I always like when my older students, like the middle school students, engage with the younger kids.
And
So do like a children's theater where the older kids create puppet shows and perform the puppet shows for the younger students, and then they could then facilitate a puppet making workshop with kindergarten, first grade, self-contained, those groups.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic chance for like peers to work together, right? And to mentor each other. Love that. Thank you, Andy. Anything else? Any concrete takeaways that people are sort of percolating with right now while the puppeteering is fresh in there?
I work with elementary, pre-K through second grade, and it's a great opportunity for the younger ones to practice the shapes. We're doing circles now in pre-K, and it's a great opportunity for them to see and make their own features because we engage in eyes and nose and mouth. So
Nice.
I'm looking forward to it.
So like parts of the body, right? And engaging with all the other subjects. That's what's so beautiful about theater, which Paul was saying this morning, it intersects so much. I see somebody in the chat saying, we don't want to think more about remote right now, but like if there is a snow day, this could be a great remote activity. We do have a natural, puppet stage.
And a parent workshop. I mean, especially for remote, doing parent workshop with young people. Stick puppets work. Somebody gave me this, which was a kerchief, right? That you can do this. Anything can be a puppet. This can be a puppet. Just put 2 eyes on it. Right? It's nothing special. So you can do stuff and say, hey, exactly. I'm not saying cheap. I'm saying not expensive. That's it.
Right. And we're all working in different schools and different situations with that. So we get creative with that. Any other, maybe one more concrete takeaway to think about as you're thinking about the work that we just did?
God, I wish we were live.
It's fun.
Good. I mean, we don't, thank you for saying that, because, you know, we all take our practice very seriously, and we want to be excellent, but it's also really important for us, like Peter talks about, like, we're theater artists first. And if
Yes.
we're having fun, our students are having fun.
With
Yep.
the fun, I was thinking it, I'm new to elementary, that it could be hi, that it could be a fun behavior management tool, like
Mhm.
Sally's shy, and if people talk when she's trying to share, she hides or something.
Exactly.
Oh,
And I think
100%.
that's,
Rituals and routines from the beginning of the year.
yeah. That's the role of, that's when you as the puppet and puppeteer and your puppet, you know, and especially in general ed, you know, that the shout out puppet, the puppet's like, oh, I know the story. It's about a frog. And you're like, I'm sorry, is this story about a frog? And the kids are like, no, it's about a dog. Oh, frog, dog, geez. Okay, it's about a dog who's sleepy. No, can you tell, like, that you're actually modeling the behavior that you want to them to modify.
I'm remembering what Helen was saying about how the puppet can be bolder, right, than we are.
Then
So,
you're the new person.
and for your
So
students.
you're saying the opposite. Don't go for the shy puppet. The extrovert might help better.
Yeah, or play with it. See what works, right? You know, if you're bringing in a puppet, it's like, all right, I've got a new person, and I often put a kerchief or a scarf over it, bring it out. Oh, I think she's shy. Huh. Why is she shy? Right? Because she lives in a family that makes so much noise that nobody ever hears her.
Or she's learning English, or she just arrived.
Learning English,
Yeah.
or
Oh, I hate to cut this off, but we're being summoned. So finish that thought.
we're being summoned.
Thank you, Helen.
Thank
See you there,
you so
y'all.
much,
Thank you,
Helen.
everybody. The
Thank
return
you.
to the other Zoom room is in the chat, and we'll see
Thank
you
you.
back in the main room. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all. Mina, you want to save the chat? So
You got it.
brilliant. Click through. You all okay? Look at that, Sheila. Do I know? Okay, bye. People, I'm like, I want to see people in person.
I know.
Bye, Renee. I see
Helen,
you.
Helen, if you could hang out for a quick moment, I have a tech question for you. Thank you, everybody.
Nadine, you know where you're going?
Me? I'm trying. For some reason I can't get the link through the app. I mean through the chat, but I will just try to just put it in from the original email.
Yeah, it's the original one that we had.
Okay, thank you so much. This is great.
I'm
My
so
pleasure.
glad. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
I see
And
Christopher
I'm busy
Sunny.
filling rooms, and I'm really
There we go. Kathleen,
I'm
you
still
keep
here, Helen. I'm just trying to figure out how to save this chat.
lower right-hand corner underneath at the bottom of the chat where the
I got the command, and I go to my computer, and it doesn't let me do it. So I don't want to lose it.
your
I
computer.
mean, not, mentally, which I might do. Just kidding.
Yeah, mine does, and then it goes to my.
Do you have any means to save the chat?
Do I have to put it in the folder? Desktop, I wonder thing. I'm gonna just put it there and say